All right, having a little bit of fun with technology on the top of the Story Hills here in Bozeman, Montana. So let me just see if I can do it this way. So Izzy and I, there's Izzy in the background. She and I hiked up the hill. So there's a physical aspect of where are you coming from. And sometimes your past, where you're coming from, isn't incense and peppermints. It's not always the most positive set of circumstances. Sometimes there's trauma. For me, I had trauma. I had an abusive childhood. There were some things that were fairly traumatic for me. Some experiences in the Marine Corps were fairly traumatic. Instead of taking time to appreciate where I was coming from, to recognize those struggles, kind of like being on the top of the Story Hills, there were some aspects of hiking up here that were difficult. And instead of honoring that struggle, I was running from it. I was scared of it. And when you are running from your past, well, for me, it was really hard to live in the present and forget about the future. I was so far off base running from my past. I wasn't present. There wasn't a capacity, a bandwidth to start really putting into any process of a plan for the future. So I recommend take a look at where are you coming from. Those spots of the trail that you're on, that journey that you are on in your life, brought you to this point. You can continue to run from it, or, and this might suck, you might have to roll up your sleeves, belly up to the bar, do some work. And this is where I recommend get an IST, a therapist, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, like one of those ISTs. Trauma happens in a lot of people's lives. And if you are able to seek out one of those ISTs for their professional assistance in how to get past that trauma, how to not fight it anymore. For me, the change came when I wasn't fighting that trauma, when I wasn't running from it, but I accepted it. Now, this isn't to say to have like a pure serenity and just a pure acceptance. I don't like some of those aspects of what happened to me in my past. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about making peace with it. I can both accept it and appreciate that it, well, not appreciate that it happened. Like find value in it, but not condone it. And this is a live video. You're getting my thoughts raw. There's no script. There's no notes. Here's my hands holding the camera. That's all I'm going off of. So if this is a little bit clunky and awkward, well, I want it to be an authentic conversation with you. So if you're here joining me, go ahead and put some notes down in the comments below, and at the end, I'll take some time and address your comments. So that first step, where are you coming from? If there's some traumatic experiences in your past, get that professional help. Seek out that resolution. Appreciate, honor that struggle that you've been through. And then that moves us to, where are you at? We have so many tools available in this personal development realm. One of the pieces that Brendon Burchard offers is to take a look at your 3 best self-words and then talk about your 3 best relationship words. These are words that you can generate. It's not that you have positivity or you have this optimistic outlook. You can generate it. That's exciting. That's exciting for me. So one of the things I do is I use technology to help me out. And Brendon Burchard talks about you can put these words into your phone. Let them serve as a reminder every day and allow this introspection for you to define and develop where are you at. My 3 best self-words are loving, authentic, and bold. And every day, mid-morning, is when those alarms pop up on my phone. And I just take a minute and I'm like, oh, loving. On a scale of 1 to 10, how loving am I being right now? Wherever I'm at, I think about, well, what does that next level feel like? What would it seem like? What would it be like if I was at that next level? I think about that and then I step into it. I embody it. I demonstrate those feelings, those characteristics. That allows me to level up my value of loving. The same thing happens in terms of authentic and bold. A few hours later, another alarm goes off. And those are my 3 best relationship words. Go ahead and think about what would that seem like? What would you generate in those relationships? How would you generate those best relationships? Write those 3 words down. If you'd like, share them in the comments section down below. So my alarm goes off 3 hours later with those 3 best relationship words. And again, I assess myself on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being a little on the lackluster side. 10, crushing it, firing on all cylinders. We're talking like SWAT team precision, like all systems go. And I assess. In my relationships, there are times where I assess myself to be at a 5 or lower. In those times, I back up to my best self and I do an additional assessment. I know that if I'm living as my best self, that provides the foundation for which I can build my best relationships. So if my relationships are in shambles or cracked, like whatever you want to call it, that level 5 or below of your personal assessment, now that's when I go back and I look at my best self words. I really hope that serves you. Sometimes taking a look at where you're at will give you a better footing for where you want to go. And that brings us into that 3rd point. Where are you going? This is where you set forth your dreams, your goals, your projects. You share them. You advertise them. You put them out to the world. And in a way that manifests what it is, the direction that you want to go. In a way that also tells everybody else this is what you want to do. So it might help like nudge you in the ribs or kick you in the butt for those times that you start thinking, gosh, I really want to get on Netflix and watch all 7 seasons of Archer. Whatever it is, you're going to have those distractions. You're going to have those temptations to pull you away from the direction that you want to go. When you define your purpose in that where do you want to go, where are you going, then you can define better actions for today. Where are you at to be able to bring you to where you want to go? So there you go. Those are my 3 pieces that I want to share with you. That 60-second brief. And really, if you incorporate this into your daily meditation practice, reflection practice, introspection, self-assessment, and you take a look at, well, gosh, where am I coming from? How grateful have I been for those experiences in my past because they've brought me to where I am today. If I can find opportunities to express gratitude, even for those traumatic experiences, even for those experiences that sucked, if I can learn to find gratitude in those experiences, then, well, for me, I can be more grateful about where I am today. So there's that second part. Where are you at? Once I can assess where I'm at and am I living my best self? Am I generating my best relationships? Then I can assess, well, what is my life purpose? Where am I going? With that strategic vision of my purpose, then I can look at what pieces can I put in place today? Where am I at? And when I incorporate all 3 of those on a daily basis, well, it helps me to go out and win my dreams today and every day. Until next week, I hope you do the same. Leave some comments below. I'll be looking through and soliciting and culling through the comments for any questions or comments for next week. Until then, I hope that you can go out and win your dreams today.